10 rounds here in Brooklyn. Heather the Heat Hardy saluting her hometown crowd. And Shelly Vincent in the opposite corner. The decision coming up next. The Coney Island Boardwalk in Brooklyn, New York. The PBC on NBC.
I forgot the exact date of this. This was 2 years ago. About 20, just a little under 26 months ago when Heather Hardy defended her title against Shelly Vincent, a big females fight at the time. In fact, the first females fight to be televised in this capacity in like years. I forgot the exact state. But nonetheless, female boxing is on the rise, and this rematch is happening October the 27th on HBO, and it's televised. First, it wasn't going to be televised, but Lou DiBella or whoever, works some magic, and the fight is televised, which makes sense to me, especially since, HBO should have a storyline like this for that last fight. But nonetheless, I'm looking forward to the rematch because women's boxing right now, in the generation that I'm in, and when I was younger, obviously, fights like Mia St. John, Christy Martin, they used to come on TV, but not in the frequency that we're getting them right now on The Zone, on ESPN, Showbox. It's everywhere. So now these female boxers, whatever age they are, they got to ride this momentum. They got to stay active. I'm not saying play politics, and I'm not, no pun intended, don't be a diva, but they got to take advantage of this because now we're in the age where the entire cards are being broadcast and streamed. I'm covering these women boxing fights on YouTube, and there's interest. People are watching them. You see what I'm saying? So Shelly Vincent is about 5'1". Her height is always going to be an issue. So, therefore, she's got to be the workhorse. She only has one knockout. Now, knockouts is not a common thing in women's boxing. And if you see a fighter like, for example, Amanda Serrano with a lot of knockouts, there technically is a lot of stoppages, but off of volume and just, skill level. Nonetheless, this is a fight where the first fight was entertaining, so I'm expecting that these ladies are on HBO, and Heather Hardy with her now mixed martial arts background and the hunger of Shelly Vincent, and what you got to think, right? Like, let's use common sense. Let me stop trying to motherfucking make this shit motherfucking rocket science. These ladies know that they're on HBO, so therefore they likely, it's going to be the opening. Let's go look at the card. It's going to be the opener, right? On regular HBO, on what they're saying could be the last regular HBO show. If they do Canelo versus Rocky Felding, then they're going to put that shit on pay-per-view, whether you like it or not. But you got Daniel Jacobs versus Sergiy Derevyanchenko. Alberto Machado returns against Yuandale Evans. And then you have Heather Hardy versus Shelly Vincent. You got Patrick Day versus Willie Nelson. He returns. But Heather Hardy versus Shelly Vincent, they're going to be opening up the card. So they can't go in there and fuck around. They're going to be fighting at 126 pounds. Here's what we're working on here on my website and on the channel. We got to come up with our own divisional rankings because when you try to go to the WBO website for their women's rankings, that's all fucked up. Same thing with the WBC. WBC is a little better. Same thing with the IBF if you can find them in the WBA. So it's really hard to talk about, the women fighters in regards to who may be the mandatory and not because for one, in other places, like, for example, down in, a lot of female fighters are down in Mexico and, overseas. Their fights are not necessarily getting televised. You see what I'm saying? So what we're doing here is we're making sure that when any woman's boxing event is on, I'm making sure I'm covering them shits. What was I doing? Damn it, what was I doing? I be confusing myself. They're at the 126-pound division. So in this case, BoxRec is your friend. So right now, Heather Hardy is ranked number 3 at 126. I got to go check out this chick right here, because she's ranked number 1, Jelena Mr. Jinovich out of Canada. 38, 10-2, 19 KOs. Because if we're going to be talking about the fighters, we got to know the divisions, right? One thing about Shelly Vincent, though, she has been ahead of the curve. A lot of her fights are available on YouTube and in Daily Motion, and were available on like independent streams. So she's a legend in the New York area. I remember it because I was trying to find Heather Hardy fights, but I was only finding interviews. This was when I was researching for this fight. And when I used to work with Real Combat Media, he kept telling me about Shelly Vincent. I took a trip out to New York for a press conference, and I had to catch the bus that day because some shit had happened. And I remember listening to her radio interview. She did a radio interview with somebody or a podcast, and I was like, yo, this chick all right. But she be showing love on the gram sometimes. That's what's up. I forgot what I was looking for. Damn it. Oh, going back to the fighters, I mean, you may ask yourself, okay, well, what about Katie Taylor? Katie Taylor's at 135 pounds. I'm not saying that, a Shelly Vincent and Heather Hardy, Katie Taylor wouldn't fight, though, but they're two divisions apart. Technically, like these ladies are like 122 pounders. They're fighting at 126. But are they 122 pounders? I don't know. But Katie Taylor's at 135. She's fighting Cindy Serrano, who's just like her sister, has fought. Well, I already have her up. Just like her sister, has fought in multiple weight divisions. 140, 130. In this case, with 126. In this case, with Katie Taylor, it's going to be 135, 147, 154. She fought Michaela Loren. Very eccentric boxer. She likes to kiss chicks and shit. And Sophie Mathis, she's a boxing legend. So women boxers are known to jump around in weight a lot. You got Jessica McCaskill, who I covered this weekend. She's fighting at 140 now. That was a very, very good fight. Michaela Mayer is over on Top Rank. She's fighting this weekend. I'm going to be covering that. She's fighting right now. It's October the 8th, 2018, 7:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday, just right outside of Philadelphia. She's fighting at 130, right? Yeah, she's fighting at 130. Well, she's targeting a 130-pound title. But as you can see, before, coming off of the Olympics and everything, she's been fighting just a little over 130. So yeah, I'm going to post the ticket information and everything down on the on my website down below. The link is right there, and also down in the description box. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live, and as you can see, we are making the commitment to women's boxing, and I am going to go to this fight. Sometimes, they be playing politics and everything, but I think we got a lot of enough numbers. Like, I'm not really interested in Jacobs versus Derevyanchenko. Don't get me wrong, I'm going, but I want to see the fight, but I'm more interested in in talking to Heather Hardy and Shelly Vincent, like post fight or something. Anyway, I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Please subscribe.